Have you ever stopped to think if there really is a set date for the end of the world as we know it? Have you ever imagined hearing from Jesus the exact date of World War III? In today's video, you will hear the shocking story of a former American soldier who died in an accident and came back with a terrifying warning. He claims to have seen cities burning, demons manipulating leaders, and the only thing capable of preventing total destruction. So like it right now. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any stories like this, and write in the comments which city you are watching from. Let's spread this message together before it's too late. My name is Jason Cole. I'm 37 years old, and I was born and raised in Amarillo, Texas. I served as a paratrooper in the Army, and I did 3 tours in Afghanistan, but that's not where I died. I died here in the United States. It was October 3rd, 2024. I was driving late at night on Highway 287. It was raining heavily. I remember feeling the adrenaline rush of old times, flooring it like nothing could stop me. Then the truck crossed the median and hit me head on. I heard nothing but glass shattering and bones breaking. My chest opened up against the steering wheel. I remember trying to scream, but no air came. Warm blood filled my mouth. Everything went black. I died right there, on the wet Texas asphalt. Not from an enemy bomb, not from a gunshot, but from a common, stupid accident on a stretch of road I had driven 1,000 times. Suddenly my body wasn't mine anymore. I was above it, floating. I saw red and blue lights reflecting off the water, police officers running by, a paramedic kneeling beside me, shaking my head. I wanted to say, I'm here, I'm okay, but I had no voice left. Then something pulled me back, hard. I was dragged through a black tunnel. I struggled to breathe, even though I had no lungs. I felt absolute terror, as if all the wars in the world were inside me, until, in a flash that was impossible to see, everything changed. When I opened my eyes, or whatever I was using to see, there was no road, no ambulance, just an endless plain of ash. A cold wind blew, kicking up black dust. I could smell the suffocating smell of burning flesh. I looked down and there were no feet. I was pure consciousness, hovering over this wasteland. Then I heard a sound that chilled me to the core, the wailing of a million voices. It was as if the entire planet was crying. I walked, or was led, to the top of a hill of rubble. From there I saw entire cities razed to the ground, smoking ruins, piles of charred corpses, hollow-eyed children clutching their dead parents. "Why?" I shouted, not knowing to whom. Then I felt a presence behind me. I didn't need to turn around to know who it was. A voice spoke, and the vibration went through my soul like an earthquake. Jason. Hearing my name spoken like that was like having my heart exposed. I turned slowly and saw him. He was dressed in a white robe, but he seemed to be made of living light. He wasn't just a man. It was like looking at the sun without going blind. My instinct was to fall to my knees, but I had no knees, so my conscience simply prostrated itself. "Sir, what is this?" I managed to ask, trembling. "This is the consequence of the chosen path." He reached out his arm, and in a blink, the scene changed. Now I saw the globe from space, like a fragile blue jewel, but black spots were spreading like cancer, and in the center of those spots, I saw dates. The dates hovered over the continents like burning embers in the dark. They were red numbers, glowing with a hellish urgency. 2025-04-19, 2025-07-03, 2026-01-12. I tried to pull back. I couldn't. It was as if my eyes were trapped. Each date pulsed, spilling blood across the map. White lines lit up, missile trajectories, nuclear strikes. I saw Moscow fire warheads. I saw Beijing open underground silos. I saw American submarines launch ballistic missiles in retaliation. Their trajectories crossed in the air, each destined to vaporize millions. The earth shook, cracked, oceans boiled. I felt their heat, even dead, even spirit. I could feel the scorching fire melting skin and bones. I heard the chorus of screams that never ended. I was screaming too. "Sir, stop this, please." He looked at me with such sadness that it broke me into pieces. "I do not wish this," he said, his voice like thunder covered in mourning. "But humanity rushes into this abyss with open eyes." I sobbed, trying to cover my ears so I wouldn't hear the screams, but they were inside me. Have they already chosen war? Not yet, but they are choosing now. Every decision, every lie, every threat, Every act of pride builds this outcome. He raised his hand. The burning world froze in midair like a terrifying hologram. This is the date that will mark the beginning of the Third World War, and he pointed to 2025-07-03. The number shone like a final sentence. I was shaking. I no longer had a body, but I was shaking all the same. Every fiber of my soul was screaming, "No, this can't happen. Sir, please, erase that date." He lowered his arm, and the globe vanished. In its place was a living darkness. I could feel something crawling in it. Voices whispered in languages that were not human. "They feed it," he said, looking into the darkness. "The hatred, the greed, the thirst for power. Every wrong choice makes that shadow grow." At that moment, shapes began to emerge from the darkness. Twisted creatures with eyes burning like embers. Demons. I saw one of them lean over a map and whisper in a general's ear. Another stood behind a politician, filling him with pride and fear. I saw pacts signed in closed rooms while these things laughed, drunk with power. "War is not just political," he said. "It is spiritual." The creatures fed on human bad decisions like maggots on rotting meat. "They are setting the stage for total destruction," he explained. "And they know the date as well as I do." I screamed helplessly. I tried to attack them, but I couldn't move. "You showed me the fire, Lord. You showed me the demons. But why? What do you want from me?" Its light shone brighter, pushing the shadows back. "You need to see all." The scenery changed again, and I was dragged along like a puppet without strings. Now I stood atop a tower made of pure crystal. Below me, the entire world stretched out like a living map. I saw tanks rolling along the borders, aircraft carriers surrounding islands, bombers on constant patrol. But it wasn't just the physical world I saw. It was as if every army, every politician, every civilian had a flame over their head. Some were weak and flickering. Others were black as burning coal. "These are the intentions," he explained to me. "The true intentions of human hearts." Black flames grew where there was hatred, revenge, fear. I saw secret meetings between leaders. I saw officers giving orders to prepare nuclear warheads, convinced that it was the only option. I saw maps being marked with civilian targets. In each of these rooms, the darkness whispered, "Do it. Press the button. They deserve it." I cried. I cried like I never cried. Not even when I lost friends in Afghanistan. "Sir, no one is going to stop this. We are monsters." He didn't answer right away. Instead, he pointed to a forgotten corner of the map, a small country church. Inside, I saw a group kneeling on the wooden floor. Old people, young people, mothers with babies. All of them were crying, praying. Above them, a golden flame, bright, growing. They are not monsters. Suddenly I saw more groups, in cities big and small, in humble homes, in prisons, in hospitals, on military bases. Every time someone knelt and prayed for peace, a golden flame appeared. They began to connect like webs of light over the earth. "That's what stops them," he said, his voice more powerful than ever. "That's the only weapon the demons fear." I looked at him, sobbing. "But it's so little. There are so few. That's why I'm showing you, so that there aren't just a few of them." He extended his hand and invited me to touch the surface of this earth illuminated by threads of light. When my essence touched the map, I felt every prayer, every tear. A woman crying for her enlisted son, a soldier in a bunker praying not to press the button, a child saying, "Jesus, don't let the world end." The prayers were like inverted thunder. They rose into the sky and exploded into light. "Do you feel it?" he asked, his voice encompassing everything. "Yes, it's beautiful," I replied through tears. "These prayers are holding back destruction, but the enemy knows this." In an instant, the view changed again. I saw empty temples and churches. People were playing with their cell phones while the pastor preached. I saw religious politicians spewing hatred from the pulpit. I saw empty, cold prayers said out of obligation. "These have no power," he said, "because the heart is far away." I wanted to vomit. I didn't know a soul could feel nausea, but I did. "Show me everything," I said. "If I'm going to carry this, I want to know." He obeyed. Suddenly, the earth opened before me like a book. I saw the scenes of war begin, the dates lighting up in red, the first shots, The detonation of tactical nuclear weapons. The escalation is out of control. The day when the whole sky was on fire. 2025, 7.03 as a seal of death. I saw New York disappear in a ball of fire. I saw Washington turn to glass. I saw Beijing and Moscow in ruins. I saw radiation consume generations. Sir, please don't show me anymore, I begged, my voice cracking. But he did not spare me. You need to remember, because you must warn. I was sobbing like a child. My whole soul was screaming. Tell who? No one will believe me. He came closer. His light wasn't just light. It was pure love. I felt every flaw in me being revealed. Every sin, every lie. But there was no condemnation. Only a love that crushed my chest with its strength. They don't have to believe you, he said. They have to believe me. His words pierced through the surrounding darkness. The demons surrounding us cowered, screaming in pain as he spoke. Show them what you saw. Tell them the truth even when they laugh, even when they call you crazy. But what if I fail? My voice trembled. He looked into my eyes, and for the first time I felt courage well up in my broken being. You will see many refuse, but you will also see many fall to their knees. You will see families transformed. You will see armies praying before they fight. You will see children growing up without fear of nuclear sirens. He moved even closer. His hand reached out to my face, and I felt warmth and peace like nothing else in this world. War is not inevitable, but regret is rare. That's why you need to speak up. At that moment, the world map reappeared. The red dates were still there, but they started to flash. These dates are not set in stone. They are written in sand. The wind of prayers could blow them away. I saw it. Where people knelt, dates disappeared, missile trajectories vanished, demons screamed and were banished. My heart burst with hope. Are you telling me we can stop it? He smiled. A divine tear fell from his eyes like a shooting star. With me, all things are possible. I trembled, no longer with fear, but with something like purpose. The vision changed once more, as if he wanted to imprint on me scenes impossible to forget. I saw children playing in parks that had once been reduced to craters. I saw churches filled with people praying endlessly, not for personal blessings but for world peace. I saw presidents falling to their knees in the Oval Offices, weeping like little children. Are these images? I asked, my voice breaking. Right, they are possible, he said, but they require sacrifice. The happy scenes were suddenly gone, replaced by a terrible judgment seat. I saw souls being judged, proud leaders who had laughed in life now bursting into tears, their works burning before him like straw in the fire. I felt the weight of human decisions. Every attack order, every diplomatic lie, every hate vote, it all counted. It all added up. I struggled, wanting to escape. Show me more, I asked, almost regretting it as soon as the words were out. He answered. Now I saw spiritual currents coiling in the capitals of the world. In Washington, Moscow, Beijing, Tehran, Pyongyang, dark currents, pulsing like living snakes. These are blood covenants, he explained. Spirits of fear and power have made pacts with rulers. They trade peace for security, freedom for control, lives for territory. Chains wove through the missile silos. I saw warheads being blessed by generals as if they were holy relics. And then, I saw his hand outstretched, trembling. Yes, trembling. Not from weakness, but from restraint. You need to let me know that I'm holding on to this, but I won't hold on to it forever. My vision was filled with such bright light that I thought I would evaporate. The light swallowed me whole. I felt myself being torn apart and reborn at the same time. There was no more ground or sky, just him and me, exposed like an open book. His words echoed inside me like war drums. Jason, listen carefully. They're going to call you a liar. They're going to call you crazy. They're going to call you an alarmist. But you have to tell them what you saw. Sir, it's too horrible. Whoever hears it will go mad. Better to go mad now than to burn to death later. Those words stabbed into me like knives. Suddenly I saw faces, millions of them. Men, women, children, soldiers, doctors, politicians, teachers, all of them staring at me. Some were crying. Some had hard eyes of hate. Others were shaking with fear. These are the ones who will hear your story, he said. And will they decide? Yes, everyone. Every bended knee counts. Every sincere prayer weakens the chains. Every fast pushes the abyss further away. I wanted to protest. I wanted to say that it was unfair to place such a heavy burden on humans. But I felt, which was fair, because we had been given the power to choose. They need to know the date. I shuddered. He wouldn't let me forget. Tell them the clock is ticking for the 3rd of July 2025. The words were written in the sky with liquid fire. Tell them this is the point of no return if they don't change. The images came back, fast and brutal. Missiles cutting through the sky. Cities exploding. Children melting in their mothers' arms. Sir, please, speak, he commanded, his voice now like 1,000 storms, or you will bleed for your silence. I fell, or rather was thrown backward into that endless darkness. His words still echoed, speak, or you will bleed for your silence. I screamed that I wasn't ready, that I was just a broken soldier, that no one would listen, but the answer was a deafening silence, a silence so heavy that it seemed to crush my soul. Then, far away, I saw a thread of light, a single, solitary flame. I followed it, dragging my broken self toward it. When I got closer, I saw that it was a woman kneeling on the floor of a dingy trailer. She was crying for her son who was serving in Guam. She knew nothing about politics. She didn't read newspapers, but she prayed as if the world depended on it. And I knew, because he made me feel it, that because of that prayer, a general in a bunker would hesitate before launching an attack. I fell to my knees beside her even though I was dead, and cried. Show them this, he said finally, his voice coming from all sides. Show them that the strongest weapons are not of metal, but of faith. The world opened up around me one last time. I saw the red dates fading away one by one where prayer had been taking place. I saw demons scream and flee like rats before a fire. I saw cities surviving that should have been vitrified. I saw a generation growing up without knowing the sound of nuclear alarms. But I have also seen the opposite, he warned, and in an instant, the dates returned, burning with redoubled force where there had been indifference, pride, hatred. That's what you need to tell. What if I forget? I asked, sobbing. You won't forget. The last thing I saw was his face, so serene, so terrible, so full of love that I thought my heart would break. Go, Jason. Time is running out. Then everything went black. A noise pulled me back. Sirens, shouted voices, hands pounding on my chest. I opened my eyes with a gasp. Doctors held me down, electric shock still pulsing through my bones. He's alive. We have a pulse. But I felt nothing but a single truth burning inside me. The date is set, but it is not sealed, and the power to erase it is in our hands. If you like this beautiful spiritual testimony, leave a like, comment your impressions, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to activate the notification bell to watch each new video and help us spread this message to a greater number of people. Until next time.